So this is an industrial building up in LA. It's in a heavily Chinese area, but it's a transportation corridor and it's in pretty high demand because all the traffic from the port goes from Long Beach and it goes out through this area to Riverside and the rest of the country. So this guy bought this building a long time ago. He cryptically texts. This is like I told you, the people don't pick up the phone. Well, it's a multicultural area, and a lot of them speak broken English, and this guy is one of them. But he texts me back and forth, so I got him text prospecting, and
Love it.
so I didn't know he had it for lease. This is the lease perspective. Show you what the building is, and I was trying to get a number out of him, what he might, accept for an offer price, because I've got a potential end user for this building. Without much numbers, I kind of wanted to just get an idea how you would approach the valuation and an offer with this guy. I mean, he's motivated, but he's not. He bought it so long ago, I think for like $1 million, and now it's probably worth over 5 or 6.
Mhm.
The cap rates here are ridiculously low. They were down as low as 3 and 4%. Now they're up around 5. They probably still got to come up to maybe 6. The vacancy is much higher than it was. There was no vacancy before. Now the stuff that's out there is vacant. And price per square foot, they're advertising at $1.35. It's not a bad price. I mean, it goes as high as $1.62 and as low as $1.25.
Okay.
Triple net. Kind of wanted to have an idea. My buyer wants, if she puts a couple million into the purchase, she wants to know if she gets any kind of a cash flow return. And
All right, well, let's talk about it.
in my brain, I'm thinking, well, 20% is break even for a lot of deals. And if you put in extra cash, we need to put 30, 40% into a deal to underwrite it. Maybe she should get a return on the extra equity invested. That's kind of how my brain looks at it.
All right, well, we're gonna find out. So
Okay.
let's eliminate this and let's clean this all out. Because this was us doing some underwriting. So basically all I did here was that I cleaned it all out. We have one tenant, hypothetically. Let's say they're the full size of the building, right? So the full size of the building is 16,948.
Yeah.
What
And
what do
right
you think
now,
that
4,000 of that right now is office. So, but that, I mean, my end user, if she used it eventually, she would have rented it first, and then when her business is ready to move, she'll build it out for her needs.
got it. All right, so what do you think we can rent this thing for?
What they have leased for $1.35 is a pretty good number, but maybe with the market conditions, with the tariffs and all that, maybe $1.25 is a good number.
All right, so then let's figure it out. So we can do hypothetically, let's say that we can do 1.25, you're saying, as an example.
hmm
Now you're saying that's triple net, correct?
Yeah, it should be triple net.
All right, so then let's add a reimbursement column here. Reimbursements. So we're going to do triple net expenses. Let's just say that we clean this whole thing out and we just do a clean, simple equals, let's
I
say,
sent you the CoStar snapshots on that, and I think it was 142 a foot for taxes. It said on there.
got it. What I'm saying is like, let's just do this times like zero point 0.4, okay,
Um,
maybe 0.45. So this is gonna, yeah, this is just gonna be a placeholder, right? So like we're just having a heavy expense, we've got roughly $66,000 in expenses. So let's just hold on one second. Let me just go to income, make sure this all looks pretty clean. We're saying that hypothetically we were able to get this for rented at 125. Let's see what the price per square foot. So 66,000. Let me do it here. Equals that divided by the square footage. So around $3.50 a foot triple net, right? Because you're gonna have some management costs and other things. Okay. So this would be $3. This would be an equal sign that times 3.5 divided by 12. So this will be the reimbursements roughly. Let's just do that plus reimbursements. There you go. All right, so we got this now. We're going to do at least a small vacancy rate of 3%. And so you get a nice long-term tenant paying you at 125 with, let's say, 2% increases a year. Okay, so what is this building worth? That is the question. Again, back in the napkin approach real fast. If we just do it that way, let's say we get $26,000 a month times 12 divided into what cap rate do you think we can get?
well, right now it's close to 5.5. In the future, will that be 6? I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, I mean, if we said 6%, right? You take 312,000, $26,000 a month times 12 is 312. 312 into a 6 cap is $5.2 million. if she's open to a six cap deal, which again, I'm not saying she's going to cash flow wonderfully, but she will definitely cash flow to some extent.
Yeah, she wants to know what her return is before she moves
What?
forward.
Got it.
Like if she
Okay.
puts a guy in there, she knows she's gonna at least break even, but she'd like a little money back.
Well, I mean, her return, right, is dependent on what she pays for it.
Right, so this guy would probably want 6 or 7 million for that building, and we probably want it for 5 or less.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he hypothetically wants $6 million, I mean, she's going to be a little bit shit out of luck. She's going to be in a hyper negative situation.
That's what happened around here. You have to put 40% down to break even, yet no return.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't make sense. Why would you own a building at a 3 cap when a T-bill's giving you 4%?
Well, this is the point, right? So, like, this is the dilemma that we're all looking at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me just make sure this is correct. Let me drop this down to 2% and income. We have 16,948. I don't know why that's off. Okay, $15 a square foot. They're paying $21,000 a month, 25, 26,000 roughly a year, 293 with a 5%. Let's do 3%. And we're going to do 2% increases a year. Our expenses are 120,000 plus the 5. We could actually just do it this way. Let's say that hypothetically they're going to cover all the reimbursements. So hold on one second. So I'm going to just add the 7. Let's say that we add in $7 a foot. Over here, it's a little bit different. Not 3. That's why this is off $7 a foot. That looks better. Anyways, there we go. So this is a very conservative range now. Okay, let's just say that this guy again wants $6 million. Just plug in random numbers. Let's say it's going to be $25,000 for inspections. Closing costs would be 250 grand if you got a normal mortgage. You're going to be a little bit underwater. It's a 4.38 cap technically at 6 million. Right. So you can, I mean, like this is the fact, right? So let me give you this spreadsheet so you can actually look at it. Copy link, viewer. So this is where you're actually going to be on this deal. Now, if anybody, an individual and he's actually serious about selling, right? Because that's the difference, right? Like when you're speaking to somebody who's actually interested in selling, I have this guy right now we're in a deal with, and he's like, being flexible in every which way possible because he's actually interested in selling, right? Like if you actually want to get a property to a closing table, you're going to have to be somewhat flexible with what the buyer's requests are. Right now, in this instance, if you go to him and say like, look, I mean, like, if he says he wants $6 million, I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to get a loan on this. Let's say 6.75% interest, amortization. Yeah, you won't even be able to get a loan unless you do 60% down. Your cash and cash year one is 1.4%. Stable, you're getting a 4% rate of return on your money. 4.4% stabilized yield. Your rate of return overall is a negative percent only because you're losing money, as in the building is going to be worth less in the future. Overall, though, I think that this is one of those situations where like at he's not going to take 4 million, but
He could. He's got plenty of equity, but I think he'd have to go through a lot of pain to get there. Like the place never rents out for the next year or two. So
yeah.
It's probably not a deal this year. It's maybe a deal next year if his conditions worsen.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, this is sort of where my head's at, right? Like, if you can get this deal, at 4 million, I'm not saying I'd pay this, but you're getting a 6.5 cap, like a true 6.5 cap on actual expenses. I mean, if you want to be really, really, generous, this is the real facts of this deal. Like, you're going to be tight on this deal every which way that you look at it. You're putting 40% down at $4 million and even at a 6.77 cap day one. Let's say you paid a 6 cap day one, which is probably 4,250. All right, that's about a 6 cap. So if you bought it at a 6 cap today, you'd be putting 50% 50 to 55% down. You're making 2.5% on your money a year. Your internal rate of return is 4.5%. I mean, it's a terrible deal, but I mean, it's, if someone wants a store of value, God bless.
As a potential end user, she just wanted a place to move her business if the rents continue to climb.
Yeah, but look, also, by the way, this was also me only doing 15 a foot. You said it was also ranging to 20 a foot. If you do 20 a foot, all of a sudden this deal's worth 6 million. I would buy this deal at 4 million, 4.5 million now. Look, I mean, it's listed at $1.35 a foot modified gross.
So what would you offer this guy? going in? What would your approach be?
I would be at, let's see here. I mean, he's getting 135 gross. So 1.35 times 12 is 16.2 a foot. Let's do 16. And that's modified gross, which they're only going to be paying maybe a portion of the expenses, right?
The owner
So
might take care of the air conditioning and the roof type of thing.
yeah, so look, this is what they're saying. It's the future value of this asset right here. If you got it rented right now for exactly what they're asking for a month, right? Which, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously I know that like, you're saying that this could be under rented. This could be, like if you're saying, $1.25 and triple net is actually what it should be, if you cleaned it up and made it pretty. The problem also keep in mind is like this building is not perfect for like it could be great for an owner user. I mean, I'm going to share let me just kind of show you what I mean. This is a very funky layout. You know what I mean? It's not like it's one of these buildings over here. I mean, let me see. Like this is what investors want, right? Like a clean building with ability to put in the let me see if I can. So like this is much cleaner, right? You got the parking on one side, and then you have the ability
The
to put
dock.
in the
Yeah.
trailers.
Yeah.
Right, and you can back up trailers here and a bunch of dock doors, right? Like this is clean stuff, which someone would probably pay a 5 cap or a 6 cap for this product. This deal, because it's so funky, you have one dock door, one drive-in, one dock door, or whatever in the corner here. Obviously a good amount of parking in the front, but it's just a funky, weird layout. You're not backing up a trailer here.
So what would you offer the guy? What would your approach be?
All right. So let's go back to my spreadsheet. So if my feet, like, I'm going to be aggressive as hell on this. I mean, I think based on this future value of where he's even thinking, I'm probably going to have to be at like, I mean, look, I'd probably say that 3 million is probably a very good number on this deal. 125,000, $1 million raise. You're buying it at a day 1.7 cap. If I can make it contingent upon, I make it a contingent upon occupancy and I pay $3 million, maybe even 2.8.
No, that's low.
Yeah, but I'm saying like this is where my internal rates of return start going to be 20%, which is what we look for. Now, obviously, California is different. I mean, if you got a 15% IRR in California, like you're probably doing way better. But so, anyways, but that's probably where I'm at.
Are you able to send me that final link for that?
Yeah, no,
spreadsheet so I can
the
play with
most recent one in the chat, I believe, is this.
it? Okay.
Or here you go.
Thank you.
You got it. Of
I appreciate it.
course.